Am I on the right one?
Yeah, I think you're on the right one. I'm just, guess I'm hacking this in a good way. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, is this the right one?
Yes, it is the right one.
Woohoo!
I don't know. Something happened with, I don't know.
We were all on chilling, waiting for you.
Oh, Crystal, what's for lunch today?
Oh, clean dishes.
Oh, okay. That works too. Low calorie, gluten friendly.
On soap.
Ah, yes. Hey, it's Beachbody Blue, so it's all good.
And I got a blue sponge too. And a blue scraper. Oh, look, in a blue. All Beachbody. All the Beachbody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shut up.
I think this is all that's happening on. I did post to my team page, but.
Oh, you sure they'll keep joining? Yeah, I see this. At first, I thought it was just you, me, and Crystal, and then now I'm going to the big screen. I can see everyone else there. I'm gonna shut up because this is your team call. I'll let you kick it off and everything. Yeah.
No problem. So welcome, guys. I'm super excited because yesterday. So this is Johnny. He's my corporate mentor. Everybody, gets different corporate mentors as they continue progressing. And we were talking yesterday, and he just kind of briefly mentioned that he could hop on a team call, and I was like, well, let's do it tomorrow. So here he is. With the end of this month, and so many of you pushing for Diamond, and so many of you also still making some excuses, and Team Cup next month, and everybody that's on is registered for Team Cup. So I just thought it was a great team call to have him and get us ready to finish this year strong and end minimally at Premier. But, we all have that elite status goal too. So
I like it. Am I ready to chat?
You are ready. You can take it on over.
All right, friends. Well, thanks for letting me jump on here. Yes, as Candace, I was doing a little one-on-one with her yesterday, and then I'm like, hey, I'd be open to doing a team call too, because I've been doing a lot of them, trying to get everyone fired up here, and I'm hoping you feel fired up after today. So, kind of the typical topics that I've gone over, and I'm going to tell you what I want to focus on today. Typical topics. One of them is addressing the whole, how do I get working coaches, or how do I find working coaches, or how do I get my coaches to work? All kind of the same thing. I want working coaches is what it is. Another one is, how do I get my how do I get my challengers to get results? And the reason why that's important is because those who get results are likely to become tomorrow's coaches. And if we're selling challenge packs and we're not getting people results, are we doing much service to them anyway? And part of that big discussion is actually what I want to even focus on today, is how to get challenge packs sold effectively. So I might even start with there, and then we'll move it into the coaching. If any of you have any questions during this time, please write it in the chat, and we can even unmute you too if you're feeling like I really have something to say. So I'm here and open to do that all with you today. So I think any of us who've worked this business for a little bit understand that, again, those who get results, good results, are more likely to become tomorrow's coaches, or open to that idea. Those who get great results are even more likely to become tomorrow's coaches, if maybe even a working coach. But someone that gets okay results, they're probably not going to want to become a coach, and that kind of makes sense. If I got okay results, or I got no results, am I going to want to share this with other people? Would I really want to sell and advertise this to friends and family? Probably not. So getting people results is key. The reason why I emphasize all that is because how do we get people the results? Well, I'd say getting people results is also highly related to how we sell a challenge pack as well. Because I know for this business, a lot of what stops people, the objections we typically get when we're trying to get someone to buy a challenge pack is, I don't have the time to like put into this workout stuff. I'm too busy with my family and my kids and whatever else. Another excuse is, because I'm spending all my time and doing those things, I don't have the energy. I don't know. I'm just too tired at the end of the day. I don't really want to do some workout thing. Another thing is, oh, it's too expensive. I don't have the money. I don't know. I'll even use COVID or someone lost a job or whatever. And meanwhile, they've got like the iPhone Pro Max or something, right? Okay. So all those excuses, to some degree, are probably across the board for everybody. And yet we know if someone values something enough that they're willing to actually make the time for something, or put in the energy for something, or even spend the money on something. Now, is Beachbody and what we're going to be offering them something worth all of that? If it is, then there's a good chance that person's going to say yes. And if they're saying yes at this point, can we actually get them to commit to the work that's involved with this to get results? So let me kind of describe this a little bit. We know that if we sold someone a challenge pack, even got them convinced them to that point, and just said, good luck, are they going to get results? They could. Chances are not. The odds are against them. In fact, we know that we see funny memes of this every year, like January 1st, the gym, and it shows everyone, it's just packed in there. And then it shows like January 8th, which is a week later, it shows all the treadmills completely empty, maybe a grandma on the treadmill. Because the joke is, it's like, yeah, people lose that vim and vigor and that desire. And I think with Beachbody, frankly, it's not any different. It's a workout program that they got excited emotionally with us talking to them. But then life happens. And then in life are kind of those excuses of like, I've got another job, or I've got kids and it's just so busy that I've made Beachbody and working out priority 30th instead of one of the top things that I was excited for in the first week. And I've seen this time and time again. And so with that being the case, I'm like, yeah, selling someone a challenge pack ain't going to be the difference. And in fact, if we're just trying to sell a challenge pack and say good luck, I don't really feel that's much of a catered experience for somebody. And the chance of them getting results and even be open to the idea of coaching, we've already shot ourselves in the foot. So I'm looking at this as like, can I get these people not only wanting to buy a challenge pack, but actually wanting to stick with the program the whole time and have something in place to keep them doing the program the whole time? And that actually being one of the kind of sales tools, I'd say, to get them to want to buy. That's where I'm kind of looking at things. So let me preface this, because the term sales, I know, has a very negative connotation in this type of business, in that I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be pushy. We don't want to burn bridges. And last thing I want to do is, cut off ties with or offend my friends and family. Or I don't want to get rejection and people feeling like I'm trying to scheme them into something. To some degree, I've heard it all. We've all maybe heard some degrees of all of that. And I want us to really be thinking about this business differently. So when it does feel to us that it is salesy or spammy or something like that, chances are it probably is. That's funny enough. So if it feels that way, it probably is, which also I think is a good indicator of like, well, what can I tweak then so that way it's not coming off that way? Because then that's a win-win. We don't feel weird. They don't feel weird. Really a win-win. Now, what's this magical thing that you're going to deliver to us, Johnny? Well, it's a way we're going to be approaching this here. So we know that when we're trying to get someone to buy a challenge pack, we don't go up to someone and say, you are overweight, you look out of shape, you maybe even have diabetes, I'm sure you're depressed and don't have as much hope. Like, no, that sounds so negative. People are probably going to slap us and be like, get away from me. Like, we're not in the business of offending people. We're in the business of helping out people. Well, the reason I bring up that dramatic example is because we don't really go out telling people that you've got a problem and here's a solution to fix it. Buy my challenge pack, here's a share cart. No. If people actually see and understand they have a problem, and it's coming from their perspective, that's a lot different. So when I'm talking to somebody, a lot of times the purpose of social media is to, it's to obviously draw in traffic so you can nurture those conversations to where it's comfortable to talk about fitness and nutrition goals. But I think the problem is if we're asking what their goal is and they say, I would like to lose 30 pounds and get my nutrition in check, and then send them a share card or invite them to a challenge group, I think that's a little bit too soon, because we haven't really taken the conversation from surface level to submarine level. It still feels like a sale. You said this is the goal, Johnny, so I'm selling them a challenge pack. I'm like, again, because I know that their chances are they're not going to be successful if I just sell them something and say good luck, or even if I say, here's a challenge group I'll store you in, good luck, I still don't think that's going to be enough, because I see too many people in challenge groups who don't really participate. And if this person's already insecure, they're not going to be posting a lot of the results anyway. So we got to put them some things, some requirements, some accountability to get this all working. And this actually helps in the whole, I want to say, the art of the sale process. So if I'm talking to, I see we got a Jessica on the phone line here. If I'm talking to Jessica and I'm asking her, like, what are your fitness nutrition goals? And she shares that with me and says, yeah, I'd like to lose, she shows her picture. Yeah, up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Wants to lose 20 pounds. I'd go like, okay, why? Here's the line of questioning. I'm going to fire them at you quickly. But the notion is, I want to figure out, and you don't have to answer this, Jessica, but I'm just hypothetically, it's like, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? How is this affecting your relationships right now? How's this affecting you emotionally? How long has this been an issue for you? And what attempts have you taken to actually lose the 20 pounds? Why haven't you been successful? What derails you from this? Now we're really getting, by asking these questions, them answering it, they're probably going to tell us some emotional problems, distress, how it's affecting their relationships. They're probably even telling us what usually derails them from being successful in this. They are painting the picture of how bad their situation is. Again, we didn't come up to them saying you're overweight and you need to lose weight. No, they're just painting the picture. Now that they're actually identifying there's a problem, there's somewhere to go here. Well, conversely, I even like to ask the questions, all right, and you listen to all that, you sympathize, you understand, being like, what if you could be 30 pounds lighter and be able to keep that consistently, even though those things that derailed you in the past are still present in your life, meaning they'll typically tell you some level of, oh, I got pregnant, or I got so busy with my job, or I'm just so busy with my kids. It's the classic stuff. I like to just call it life happening, that they use excuses that's derailed them in the past. And to let them know, well, what if you could be 30 pounds lighter, even though life still happens to you, that those reasons that derailed you in the past, that those could still be present, you could still get results. How do you think that would be? Hopefully they're going to be telling us that would be awesome, be amazing. How do you think that would make you feel? Oh, I'd be happy. I wouldn't be as depressed and all this stuff. Great. How do you think that affect your relationships? Oh, I think it'd be good. I'd feel a little more confident, feel more sexy for my husband. I don't know, whatever. We hear the whole range of stuff. All right, now they're telling us that there's been a problem that's been identified and something else where there's been a value here that they would like to be, kind of the results at the end of the tunnel. Well, as a coach, it feels, I don't really feel confident if I know I'm just going to sell them a challenge pack and say good luck, because I don't think they're going to get results, because chances are there's not a good chance to get results. I do feel confident knowing that if they stuck with whatever requirements I would have them do with working out and their nutrition and check-ins, that they would get results. But how do I get them to actually say yes to something like that? Well, here's where I want to propose this. And I think this is actually the interesting thing is when I've asked these questions of where the pain points are and the value points are, I want to come in and be like, all right, as the liaison, as the third person party, almost like the Uber or the Airbnb. I am like the gateway to help them get the results they're looking for. This is where I am actually presenting to them what Beachbody is, but not even with Beachbody yet, in the sense that they've told me you've got this problem and you want to be here at the results. I can help you get there. And to help you get there, I run this monthly accountability group that helps people just like yourself. And I've done this with other people to help you keep accountable to the goals that you're wanting to get and to be able to stay consistent with it. And there's also a group of us in here who have all committed to me individually that are ready to commit and support each other. And we run this month to month, and there's a recommitment every single month to do this. But people get results when they do this. Is that something you'd be open for? See, and the reason why I'm bringing this up to someone and you let them know furthermore, it's like, and I'm presenting it to you in this way because I know that I don't want to sit here and get you in my group if you're not really wanting results, but it sounds like it's really important to you based on what you told me. Those pain points are really strong. I may be the first person in your life that can help you actually get there and sustain that too. And it's nice to have me as an accountability person and a group to help you out as well. You know, are you down for something like this? And hopefully they get the notion of like, yeah, that sounds like great that you really can provide this for me. And this is where it's an interesting thing here is I'm kind of breaking from the conversation, but people can buy Beachbody on demand on their own. They can buy Shakeology on their own. They don't really need us. So why the heck are we even here? Again, the key thing that we're actually providing these people is that accountability and the group of the accountability. So we even project that in the whole proposition that we're presenting them, being like, look, I know life happens and those aren't going to go away. And that's what makes working out and staying fit and staying track on your nutrition priority 30th in your list. And it's not uncommon for most people. What I'm really providing for you is that accountability and the group to hold you accountable to it. So that way you can get the results that you're looking for. And there is a workout program and a nutrition way to get there. You know, is that something that you're more open for? The value that's being presented to them is hopefully way more than just here's a challenge pack, go for it. But that we've actually like are invested in them. We've listened to the problems. They've told us where there's a value here. Now we're like, I want to help you get that value. I'm your biggest champion. And guess what? I have a really good way to help that happen with accountability. And I know that's going to be the difference maker for you. This person now is a lot more likely on board. And now when we're telling them like, okay, part of being in this group means you'll have to actually do a certain workout. There's a lot of workout programs to choose from. We find one that works for you, but you've got to do it according to the schedule, especially during that month. There's a nutrition aspect that you'll have to abide by with usually a shake that's involved. Nothing crazy there. I just want you to improve at least one meal a day. There's a check-in procedure that you'll have to do to make sure that you are doing the workouts. And usually it's in the form of a sweaty selfie. And then part of that is a community aspect that, all right, I would want on check-in day, you need to comment on at least 2 other people's pictures and give them support and some shout out. And the idea here is that I know that most of us don't want to post a picture. Most of us don't want to check in. But I know that when we get that going off the get-go and we're building each other up, there's a camaraderie that's developed. We link arms and we support each other. And in fact, that's a lot of what keeps us sustained to stay motivated, because I'll obviously be there to check in with you to make sure in case you don't check in for a day that I can reach out to you again. But I want it to be that that's not even really happening, that it's about you getting excited. You do your post, you're getting built up, and it's done in a very judgment-free zone that it wants to sustain you for that rest of that month. And again, this person's hopefully getting more excited that we're talking to this person, this prospective challenger, and being like, this is where now we can bring up a challenge pack. It's like, so part of this is, yeah, we've got to have some kind of workout program because I'm not the fitness instructor for 20 different programs. We've got this thing, it's called a challenge pack, and it includes the workouts that you would be doing. And there's a lot of selection that we can find that works out great for you. There's a nutrition pack that comes with it, a special shake, a superfood shake that can be great for you, or if they're a bodybuilder type or wanting to be performance line, if that makes sense. And being like, and so then here's a Facebook group that I have, or it's a bod group. And this is where you'll be checking in with your study selfie. And you guys, each of you coaches on this call would decide how often you want them to check in. And then on these check-ins with the pictures where you're going to be commenting. And the biggest thing now is I need permission from you that I can hold your feet to the fire, that even in the light of having another job and or being busy with the kids, that you're going to get this done every day. And particularly on those check-in days, do the check-ins, and you're going to allow me to hold your feet to the fire. So when the going gets tough, that you're going to keep going and not ghost to me, but you're going to be like, all right, sorry, you're right, I'm going to get back on it. And that you're going to stay consistent and do all the rules. Is that something I can hold you accountable to? And again, we're hoping they say yes. If we set it up this way, this challenge group is really destined for success because it's filled with a bunch of people who've committed to you right there verbally. You've outlined it, what the expectations are. You let them know about the group support. And now everyone in here, no one wants to be the first person to post, but once people start posting, that gets the juices flowing. Great. We want it to be that this is not even about people having to do it on the required days to check in, but they're just posting frequently anyway, because this is becoming kind of fun. Guess what? People having a fun experience in a challenge group is a lot more likely to get them to want to become a coach and stick with it and get results. So they're all feeding upon each other. So I'm sharing all of this with us today because I want us to really kind of get in the notion of like, look, when I've presented in this way, man, the challenge pack was like at the very end of the conversation. It wasn't something I led with. And in fact, the idea of, oh, it's cost too much becomes such a little of an objection. And in fact, it doesn't even feel as salesy at that point because really that's again, the very last part of it. It was like the littlest part of it was the actual sale. Like, yeah, there's this challenge pack, you'd have to buy part of it. The rest of it was about digging into what are your pain points? What would it feel like if you could be without those pain points? I have a way to help you get there. Here's the way it's going to be run. Here's the support factor. Man, all those objections, we're just trying to make it so those don't even really exist, that they see the value of what you've presented to them being way up here, and that the results that they get being way up here, and the notion of time, energy, and money, which normally would have been the things that they'll be throwing at you and slapping down this whole Beachbody thing if the sale happened too soon, is actually, no, the value now is much higher, hopefully. And then that makes sense. And when the value is higher, they're always willing to stick with this. So I wanted to kind of take a pause here before I even talk about coaching, to kind of get some of your thoughts on what I presented. If this one is making sense, and hopefully even taking off some of the pressure of feeling like it's got to be such a sales process, but more like, oh yeah, okay, I can see how this doesn't feel as salesy. It's like I'm really trying to help someone else and I've got a plan that I can confidently go in with and even know that they'll probably stick with it if I set it up this way. I'm going to call some people out, just kind of curious. So hopefully don't be too scared. Crystal, who's having a bowl of cereal there. I know. Well, because I already talked to you earlier and you're all dressed up for it. If you don't mind unmuting yourself, thanks for interrupting your lunch. I'm just kind of curious to hear some of your thoughts. Does this take off some of the pressure? Or?
Oh, I'm in a team call, please. Sorry, 8-year-old. It's not cereal, it's salad.
Oh, how dare I? A nutritious, delicious salad.
Yes, with my containers. What was the question? I'm sorry.
We were too stuck on the cereal defense, the non-cereal defense. Basically, so what I've been saying is, how do you feel about it? Like, does it feel less salesy? Does it make sense how it kind of brings the value of what we're presenting at its highest value, and it doesn't feel like a sale? I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like that approach definitely is better for sure, because yeah, like you said, like I don't want to feel salesy. I just feel like a lot of people I've been talking to recently have all those excuses. And once I get them in, they're active in the community for like a week, 2, maybe a month. And then they just kind of drop off. And then like, I'll be like, oh, hey, I noticed that you haven't commented in a while. And they'll be like, oh, well, I don't have time. But it's like, you had time a month ago. So like, I don't know. I don't have time either. I have a kid. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I think that approach definitely would work. And I try to like structure mine like that. My roadblock is just how to get around the constant no from the same people. I mean, I know eventually they'll join, but
yeah, sure. I think if it can be presented in the light that I was describing, it hopefully maximizes the chances. I mean, some people still may say no, but I always say take the conversation this depth because it increases the chances that they may say yes. And because we want them to say yes with the commitment that at least during that next month when they join your challenge group, that they are going to do all the things required. In fact, I mean, it sounds like there's more rules in place, but I would rather have a challenge group of a couple of people who are sticking to the rules than one that's triple the size with like only a few people kind of participating in it, and the non-people are dragging the whole group down. Because the notion is, if we are looking at growing this business and we're trying to get people results, like I really look at this from a very objective standpoint. If I'm not getting enough people results, then the business is probably not going to grow because I'm not getting people that want to even share this with others. I need people to get their own testimonial of how this all works. Now, I'll say this, if someone gets results, so my job is to almost get as many people committed and to keep them accountable. And I think that value proposition and asking permission, can I hold you accountable to this, is going to be key at the beginning to get them on, and I'm not just talking to you, Crystal, but just everyone in general,
Right.
to get that ingrained with these people. And then there are going to be people, frankly, that won't want to, like, after they even go through a month and they're not even ready for the coaching, that's fine. They can be part of your community. Like,
Right.
you could have an ongoing challenge group that's kind of for the non-serious, which a lot of people do, but I would want you to always have a monthly one. And anyone, like, for a monthly one, the notion is, like, this is for the serious people that want to get results, because if we don't have anything serious and people are in, like, this ongoing challenge group forever and they're not really getting results, I'm like, your business ain't going anywhere, frankly speaking. And so that's where I'm trying to look at it. So I don't, if that helps, I don't know, Crystal, what are your thoughts? Is that going to be doable, or is it kind of like, I don't know, we'll see?
So I'll be completely honest. Since everything switched over from challenge tracker to bod groups, I feel like my group has just went boo, and I've sent them emails. I check in with them. They'll respond to me and they'll be like, yeah, I'm doing workouts. But, like, I just can't get people to log anymore.
Okay.
And I don't know if it, like, I've tried to explain to them how bod groups work, but I don't know, like, I feel like there's a lot of resistance from a lot of them. Or they'll be like, oh, I never got the email. I was like, okay, just sent it to you again. But, like, then I'll go in there and I'll steadily track, and I'll be the only one the entire month tracking anything. So I guess my thing is, like, how to get people engaged in my bod groups, because they either don't accept the invite or they don't do anything. They don't even log anything.
Okay. I mean, here's two thoughts I have. Is one is, yeah, bod groups does have its hiccups. And as even much, I'm a corporate person, supposed to be pushing bod groups, and Carl Deichler's all, I'm like, look, for each person on here, do whatever the freak works for you. So
Right.
if that's on Facebook group, do that. I mean, I tell people, look, the most boring way you could do a challenge group is on a Google Doc, because really all it is a platform. What is the most simple platform? Facebook tends to be the most simple platform because people are already on there. And so if that is how they're going to check in and push their pictures, I'm like, sister, totally go for it. Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, if that grows your business and that means it's without bod groups, I'm like, who's to complain about that? Because even that's more money in Carl's pocket. This is not about Carl, but you get what I'm saying. That I'm like, do what works for you. So
Right.
I think what I would want them is, if you can get them to get that commitment to post in the Facebook group, good. That's what we want. We're trying to remove as many hurdles as possible, as well as making sure that they still go over those hurdles when needed, as of the minimum ones we need, because we're letting them know that I need them to do the workout and the nutrition aspect and the check-in and the commenting on other people's pictures, because that is the minimum amount required that we've seen typically that's going to help people get results. If you can't stick to something like that, you're probably not going to get results. Therefore, this joining my challenge group probably honestly is not the right fit for these people, to be honest, if they can't commit to something like that. But I think the notion is the conversation right before that is, you told me there's been some big pain points, and that there's a value of removing those pain points, and in fact, happiness. Yes, there's a little work to it, but I think based on what you told me, it's worth it for you. And I want to help you get there. So yay or nay. And if they say no, we can respect that. But again, I think we set it up in this way that it maximizes the chances that they will say yes. And that if they do say yes, that they're going to commit to you, and that they'll join the group, Facebook group, and they're going to post as you are requiring to. I'm hoping here, like in August, September, that, like, Crystal, if I was to even have a one-on-one with you in the future, it'd be like, wow, I got people commenting that are posting and they're sticking the rules. This has never happened. Like, I would want that to start happening for everyone on this group. You feeling me?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, and I mean, like, yesterday was my year with Beachbody, so I'm hoping that like kind of like jolted some people, like, oh my gosh, like,
She's still here.
My like my progress from day 1 to day 365 is huge. So I'm hoping like people now will see, hey, like, this isn't just, a money maker for Crystal, like, she's legitimately all in. So I'm hoping that that's going to pull in a lot of traction for Team Cup. I had a girl message me this morning that she's kind of been putting me off, and she told me about, oh, I need to prove my doctor. Is it a meal replacement? I'm like, no, people eat it for a snack. Like, it's going to have to be a replacement unless you want it to be. And so she's like, okay, Tuesday. I'm like, all right, I'm going to message you on Tuesday. Like, check in. Sure, let's get you started. And she wants to be a coach. So I'm hoping that, like, I can start pulling in people that are like-minded like us. Because the girls I talk to most of the time, they're my friends. So they're like us.
Yeah.
Stubborn like I was for a year and a half with Candace.
For sure. I'm curious, can I ask Christine Valencia, what are your thoughts on some of this, sister? I know, hot seat. You never know who I'm going to call on.
What are my thoughts? I never actually asked any of my clients that I have signed, or the coaches that I've signed were just discount coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And they stay for a while. I mean, I think I have like 2 that have been with me for a few years that as discount coaches. And then the other ones had just dropped off after a while because they're like, oh, I can't afford the Shakeology anymore. And of course, I try to get them to stay and tell them the benefits. And they even liked the way they felt on it, which I'm shocked that they actually ended up still canceling it. And the clients that I do sign is, I never actually asked that, like what you said, like, is it okay with you that if I hold you accountable to like call you out and stuff like that? That's like, actually, I got to go back and take notes because I'm sorry, I was doing things as you were talking, but I'll go back on this recording and take notes because you had brought up a good few suggestions, like calling them out on stuff like that. And a lot of I have my Facebook community with Candice. We're actually success partners. My upline is Anita Moran. So
Oh, yeah.
we have our Facebook community we do, but I do have my own bod group with my own personally sponsored clients and coaches. So I do that, but not everybody always shows up. Like sometimes they do, sometimes I see who works out. But my thing is I always private message them like once a week, once every other week. And I try to get them on the phone when I don't see them showing up. Okay, let's jump on the phone and let's go over some stuff so they could hear me, my emotions, my passion, and I can try to get to the root of the problem with them. I mean, and they pretty much open up a lot about their lives with me, but I still can't get them to 100% constantly commit, to doing the workouts. And I even say, then why don't we just do 3 days a week? Put it on your calendar, like a doctor's appointment. Like, I've been doing Beachbody for 5 years. I think July was 5 years. I've been coaching, I guess, like 4 years. So, so it's always like you're dragging them. That's how I feel myself, and I don't want to do that. I want them to, I work a lot on mindset because I have did I lose you? Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Oh, all right. You know what? I pressed my earpiece in my ear and I thought I'd shut it off or something. So I try to focus first on more mindset. And then with affirmations, I do visual pictures with them. I have them send me a picture of themselves and have me write. They send me 10 affirmations that they don't believe about themselves. And then I kind of put it on their picture. So they have a visual every day to see. And I always try to work on the mindset piece along with them working out, but a lot of times, like I said, like I just end up dragging them sometimes, and it's just,
Sure.
It gets exhausting.
Sure. It's exhausting for anybody to try to drag your challengers or your coaches. So ultimately, I guess I look at it, here's why I want to look at it very objectively, is if you're dragging them, then stop it. And ultimately, here's where I look at it. You can't want it more than them, whether to get results or to get a paycheck. I need them to figure out if it's worth it for them. And then the accountability piece. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't emphasize that enough. That is the difference we're providing for these people. Can I hold you accountable to this? Without that, again, people can go run outside and lose weight if they wanted to. Okay, and you could hold them and holding them accountable is probably going to be the biggest key piece, with or without Beachbody. It could be, quite frankly. And then even to the next level is they really want results, being like, all right, if you don't stick with this, what is the consequence? Are you going to write me a check for $10 each time that you don't do the workout? Whatever that's going to be. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, but that's the idea, is being able to hold them accountable. So if you run your challenge groups without this accountability piece required upon each person, and you've got that commitment, I would not statistically say that group has a high chance of being successful, because people will just walk out whenever they can. I need these groups to have that commitment. And if that means nobody of your current people are ready to commit, then I think that's a good wake-up call to ourselves of being like, I need to have more conversations with more people and go down this route so I can have them become accountable and get these people results. Does that make sense? So that's where I'm hoping we're trying to take this conversation to that point, that forget the draggers. Can I get them committed and accountable? If so, great. Let's get them some results. If not, where do I find my next batch of people? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then I do have like 1 or 2 clients that they really don't work out, but they renew all the time because they don't want to leave that Facebook community we have, because I guess
Right.
they look in it and they go to it
Sure.
to read things and see people. And, you know, one of my clients, she's like that, like, and she's just like, oh, well, my thing's almost up. I need to renew. And meanwhile, she barely, and I'm always like, why don't you just try the yoga or the, you know, like I'm always trying a different path with this 1 or 2 people. And I haven't had success with them with completing a program yet.
Yeah. And really, I think I look with someone like that, they may be a country club type of member, but frankly, again, I'm just going to be honest here. I don't know if most of them have had the depth conversation of what are your fitness nutrition goals? What are the pain points, and taking them all down that road? And then what would be the value if it could be there? Because ultimately, if that's really established, essentially that's the true goal, is that I'm hurting. I would like to not be hurting, and I'd feel better. Are they game to get there? If they say no, then that's fine. Then the notion is, I'm not trying to get them to buy a challenge pack and dragging them along the way and getting frustrated along the prospect. I'm just kind of like, okay, if she's a country club and I've tried and I've already had that conversation, or I need to have that with them for the first time now, and they're still not on board, I'm done with them. Like, I'll keep them on the back burner. I'm not cutting the ties. They order from us, but they are not building up our business. They're just one customer of many. Again, I keep emphasizing the same thing. We've got to get people results. And if we're not getting enough people results right now, then what are we doing social media wise to build ourselves up, provide value out there to get more clients? Does that make sense? So, and I keep emphasizing all this because I think that's where, talking to Candace, some of us maybe having some troubles. I say this with love, that's where we could help ourselves out, is to get more challengers results before we even really get them to become coaches. Because if we're having troubles getting our challengers to show up and get results, how the heck are they going to inspire people to do? They're not going to be inspired to want to run a business, and they're not going to inspire anybody else, because if they're only showing up half the time, then when they're a coach, if they decide to become a coach, what they're just going to do it kind of part of the time and show up half the time and only get people showing up. Like, a lot of these halves do not equal anything whole here. And so that's why this is the root of where it's all started. So I guess if I was to like almost look at this as like, whatever's happened in the past has happened. I've got to take an honest look and be like, with any of my current people that are clients, and with any of my new prospective clients, can I have this established conversation with them? Fitness, nutrition goals. It's the middle of the summer. COVID's hit. I don't know. Tell me about your life right now. How's it affecting you? Because everything. It's almost like you're talking to them as a prospect again. Can we reevaluate? And I'm hoping maybe in August, maybe in September, that we're all like, sweet, of my old people, I got a bunch of new people recommitted again. Great, because they already warmed up. And then from there, the rest that didn't really respond, that's okay. They're the country club members. And then I know of the people that are responsive, I'm going to probably run one of the best challenge groups I've ever run, because I've got my first August group of accountability that are going to be committed. I think you'll be surprised and be like, this is awesome. This is how a group's supposed to be run. It's going to be exciting. Those people will be poised after they get results in maybe say the 30 days or towards there, or it could be up to 45 days if they wanted a group back to back, but they will be poised to have that conversation. Like, you got results. This is awesome. Sister, I think it'd be great for you to join my team. Let's talk about your financial situation. And I guess now it might be a time. I'll dabble into it a little bit. I don't want to go in depth, but.
Hey, Johnny, I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
So do you think, I don't know if you've worked with any coaches who have done this, so I figure I'd ask, would doing something and asking people, like former people, to try to get them to come back around and asking the recommitment issue, has anybody been successful in like making some sort of like commitment document where it's almost like a contract where they like their people like fill it out, and then you just constantly use that as their reminder for accountability? Like, I didn't see you today. This is what you promised. Like,
right. Yes. They'll usually do that in like a Google form. And they'll do that as part of the kind of intake process of some of these pain points, because that's what you're essentially pulling back up to be like, here are the pain points, here would be the value. But if that means you need to add stuff to it, so that is kind of again, nothing's legally binding here, but yeah, the notion of like, it's a reminder sheet, especially if someone has fully committed to you and they did it, and then day like 7, they didn't work out and you noticed it, maybe the only one in the group, then you can reach out to them. Hey sister, what happened? I want to know. I know based on what you told me, you can share the document again, or just pull pieces from it. These are your pain points. Here's where you want to be. Can I get you back on track again? You said I can hold your feet to the fire. So you do want to still have some, whether that is a Google form or something written out, because you want to take notes, because it's going to be too hard, I think, for us to remember each of our challengers. Remember, what the heck were all their pain points again? Why did they get derailed? What is the value? What does it mean to them? Like, unless you have a really smart brain, it is good to keep that written down. So whether it's a contract or not, yeah, it's on a piece of paper as a reminder. So totally good practice. Yeah. Cool. So let me, I want to transition maybe some of the remainder of our time here, and I want to let you guys go. I want to respect your time. Is if people now, I want to say this, I hope we're feeling confident that we can get people results and committed. I want that firm in us. If we need to do follow-up calls with any of this, Candace, please let me know, because I want us to feel like we all feel empowered that we know how to go about this now. Assuming that happens, like this, in a way, this would be the webinar I would do with you, like or a coaching call with you in like 30 days. Be like, all right, who of your people have gotten some results? All right, write them down. Who are these people are you thinking might be, well, actually not would be good coaches? You're going to give every single person the opportunity to become a coach. If they got results, they're getting their testimonial. Why not present it to them? Here's the thing. What gets someone to become a Beachbody coach? And this is, again, you're going to hear so much of the same stuff I'm talking about before. You can be like, oh, shoot, if I can get them results from a fitness standpoint, I can actually probably help them get some financial results too. You'll see a lot of similarities. All right. If I'm talking to someone, I know, let me preface it with this. Why do people become Beachbody coaches? Well, when I ask them, they always say, oh, I like to help people. And then I'm always like, you can help people by being a free fitness instructor or a Catholic nun. Why do you want to be a Beachbody coach? I want to make some money. Fantastic. So you want to make money and you like helping out people, and come to find out they also like recognition and they also like the community. With that being said, it's some combination of all of that. If I know finances are something for a lot of people, I like to ask people, what's your financial situation? What kind of pain points do you have coming in? Tell me about that. You may have to jostle their memory. Is it rent, mortgage, insurance, premiums, student loans? What other debt do you have? How's that affecting you? Pain points. How's that affecting you emotionally? How's that affecting your family? Okay. How's it affecting your well-being? Whatever. It's the same kind of questions. How long has this been an issue for you? Okay. Why haven't you been able to pay this off? My goodness, you're saying, like, I've already done all these questions. It's just for their fitness. Now it's about financial. What would it mean to you if you could pay off a chunk of XYZ bill that you just told me? How much of that bill do you think you need to pay off for it to be, to give you some of that relief that you mentioned it would be to you? How do you think that would affect your family? Blah, blah, blah. The idea is they are recognized. We don't go up to someone and say, you drive a poor car and you live in a poor part of town. You need to make money. You need to join my Beachbody team. Like, no, again, offensive. We're having them tell us there's an actual problem financially with them. We're coming in like, okay, I identified the problem. Well, you've identified it for me. I've pulled it out of you. Now you're mentioning that there's a great value if you could relieve this pain point. I am coming as a liaison again. I want to be your biggest champion. Beachbody coaching is a great way for you to make money that I already know you got results you like about it. People have been commenting on your social media posts about the results that you got. I think this would be a good opportunity for you to join my team. I would love for you. I would love someone for your personality, the results you got, to be able to help out others, and you make some money as well. And from what you've told me, pain points, the value, I think this would be a great way to help out, pay off a chunk of that for you month after month. How does something like that sound? Hopefully good. Again, we're not selling them on coaching. We're kind of being the liaison, being like, this sounds like it could be a good fit for you, because they can stuff envelopes. But I'm not offering that to them because I don't think stuffing envelopes is exciting for them. But they just got results. I think they like they like the whole Beachbody atmosphere. So if I can figure out what that chunk of money is for them, I'd like to even figure out, well, what would that, I'm trying to figure out what that amount is for them and if that's enough to get them going. Let me explain this. Life still happens for these people. Didn't change. Now that they got results, the pressures of life being on their time and their energy And maybe even they got fear of posting on social media are now present if they're going to work the business. Well, those aren't going to go away. And it's not our job to play therapist and time management person and be their, I'll just say this. I probably shouldn't say this too many more times, but we're not trying to be their like crack dealer of like, I'm going to give you tons of energy. Like, we're not the therapist for any of those fronts. Those are still going to exist. Our notion here is, can I figure out something of value to you that's worth it for you to work the business? I know if I told a lot of these people, if they told us, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, blah, blah, I guarantee you $1 million to work the business every month. If guarantee it, if you just put in the effort, would they all say yes? Nearly everyone would say yes. Why? Well, they still have all the same issues of time, energy, and fear. It's because now they value working the business because they can. The value of $1 million means so much more to them. So now we can't promise $1 million, but what does that amount to them that is worthwhile? That is why I'm asking about their pain points, because usually when there's a pain point associated with finances, affecting them emotionally and affecting their family, those are strong things that usually get people feeling enough of like, yeah, if I could alleviate that or help out my family, that is worth it to me. That's why I'm asking those questions. So I'm trying to figure out what that is for them. What is that amount? That's not $1 million, but something more down to earth that's reasonable that coaching can help pay for them. And when we've kind of discovered what that is, obviously it's not gonna be $1,000 in the month one, but is that something $200, $300 or something? Because they're gonna have to sell some challenge packs. We need to break it down for them. $200, great, that works for you. Let's help you get there, especially that first month. That's 4 challenge packs. Are you game for something like that? Yes, I am. Let me tell you how to go about selling 4 challenge packs. Now, I need permission again from you to hold you accountable to putting in the effort to get there. Accountability is going to be key. It's not enough. You're a coach. Go for it. Life keeps pressuring upon them. Gonna want to make Beachbody as a coach priority 30th in life, then priority 5. Again, if I'm talking here, you're hearing a lot of this. It's like, oh yeah, these are the same setup to get them fitness results in the challenge group. I got to get the one-on-one with them and then get the group to support. Guess what? If I get this commitment from them to hold their feet to the fire, I'd even ask them, how frequently would you want me to check in with you? Once a week, every other week, once a month. So we're pushing them at a pace that they feel comfortable. We're not micromanaging, or maybe they like to be micromanaged, whatever. Then we also mentioned, all right, I've also got this push to diamond group. I'm not sure if you care about hitting diamond, but it's a push group to keep all of us accountable to each other. So that way we're going to be locking arms together, because you're going to get that accountability from me, and we're going to celebrate the heck out of each person as we achieve our goals, and to kind of mastermind with each other any problems that we're having and how to work through them. It's just like how a challenge group works here, guys. And that's the notion, is I'm trying to get many of these people figuring out what's worth it for them, getting them committed to it, and then holding their feet to that fire. If someone's going to become a diamond under us, it's no miracle. It's they stayed consistent, working this business month after month to achieve that goal month after month. That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get as many people working as possible consistently, as opposed to it being, oh, you signed up as a coach, this seemed like it'd be a fun thing, but there's not enough reason for you to really pursue it, because those people will die off after they become an emerald or half diamond, because all the easy people to sign up have been signed up, and there's no more push. The going got a little bit tougher, so they're not going to keep pushing. I'm trying to work way past that by setting an expectation. What is worth it for you? That when the going gets just a little bit tough, you're not going to just back away, but you're going to work with me, and we're going to figure out how to work through this. And you're going to make that paycheck this next month. And then when you do, we're celebrating that, and we're going to push it to the next month. And some of your coaches, after they do it a few months, are like, this is great, I'm going to keep going for the whole year, and they become diamond. Or they do it for a few months, and it's like, yeah, not bad. All right, maybe I want to make even more. What else do I got to do? They start to catch the vision that we're always trying to get everyone else to catch. And it was because we helped these people get success for something that they said that they wanted. There's nothing greater, I feel like, than helping someone identify a real problem in their life and a way to alleviate that. And we've actually been able to help them achieve that, whether it's fitness or this financial thing that's helping them out personally or their family. Then the satisfaction becomes really great for this. So, all right, Heather Hansen, no problem. You got to run, doctor, on the phone. I know I've taken a lot of time here. So anyway, I think I'm done with my talk, rant, soapbox, coaching, whatever you want to call it. I hope it's been helpful for you guys. Candace, I'm curious, maybe if we would need to end the call now, or any thoughts on with your girls and what I shared about the whole coaching aspect to get them wanting to coach.
Yeah, I think, because I'm just going to call you guys out. I don't care. You guys know I'm tough mama bear and that it's all out of love and success. I just noticed that that I like what you said about the business and getting results being as consistent as they are with their fitness, because all of them are pretty damn consistent with their fitness, working out every day. But the excuses for why they didn't invite, or why, you know, I gave them a mission of like 30 invites a day for the next 10 days if they really want Success Club. And it's like, who did that? Well, and then XYZ excuses come out. So it's like, I like that you touched on this, like, did that comparison of the same of like how you approach coaching and getting working coaches is exactly the same as getting challengers who get results. So
For sure. So yeah, for I think any of us, if we really want it, we may need to talk to Candace and be like, I do want this. Or maybe Candace, you reach out to them. But we're trying to negotiate something of, is it worth my time? And if it is, then I almost need to give Candace permission to hold myself accountable to putting in the effort I need to achieve whatever goal that is. Is it a Success Club? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But Success Club means at least $150 on average, right? So I think for each of us, just because we're a coach doesn't mean we're immune to life's pressures. We'll still want to make it so that Beachbody's item 30th in our life because we've got pressures of everything else. Can we keep it one of our top 5 priorities? Because if we do, and we're able to do that consistently, that's where we start to, our vision gets bigger, because now we're starting to make some bigger paychecks and helping it make a difference in other people. But it's kind of the catch-22. Like, it's not going to get there when we put in the effort. And so we don't know what that experience is like, but it's worth it once we get there. But I'm just trying to get us working consistently. We all have the ability to do it. I don't think that's even a question. I'm pretty confident every single coach can become a diamond coach or even get diamonds underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of, are they willing to do it? And well, do they want to? And then if so, are they willing to do it? And by all means, I'm sure Candace here, or maybe some of you others on here, are willing to be success partners to be like, all right, we're going to hold each other accountable to our activities. I think that's what it boils down to. So yeah. Okay, Candace, back to you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And I definitely will. I'm putting it out there for my team to really take what you said about getting challengers results, and especially going into August, and really setting them up with staying accountable, checking in so that they get results after 30 days, so that there's this influx at the end of Team Cup of coaches, and set up a follow-up team call with you so you can, so we can go from there.
All right, everyone, let's do a flex for a final pose here.
Yep. Here, I'll get my camera.
Yeah, there it is, Lisa Walker. I love it. Okay, thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. Okay, take care, everyone.
Bye. All right, ladies. See you later.